Have you ever had the feeling that the universe is trying to tell you something? This may be more than just a simple sensation, because the reality is that it has many ways of communicating with us. It's like having a guide that helps you understand that everything you do is well oriented towards your goals, or that an important test is coming your way soon. This is how the universe sometimes acts, seeking to interact with us in more than one way. However, among all the mysterious forms of communication from the universe, we come across a rather peculiar one that is represented by numbers and the value they hold beyond a mere quantity. This peculiar event falls under the concept of numerology, which is nothing more than the ability of certain numbers to appear in our daily lives and act as messengers of the destinies that the future holds for us. The first to discover this quality of numbers in their appearance was the Greek philosopher and mathematician named Pythagoras. He firmly believed that beyond the understanding of many, the numbers that appeared in an individual's life carried a special message that the vast universe was presenting to them. He attributed to each of the numbers that appeared in sequence, in a sporadic and often surprising manner, a special and unique message. He deciphered it as if it were a language managed by the universe that was previously beyond the grasp of human comprehension. This idea was strongly criticized in its time for its novelty and the grandeur it presented, in contrast to the level of consciousness that humanity was managing at that moment. However, his postulates were of such value and importance that they would ultimately shape the history of humanity and its journey towards true knowledge. And it was Pythagoras who laid the foundations of what we now know as numerology. In this opportunity, we'll delve into it so that from here, you can identify those moments when the universe speaks to you and understand the precious message it conveys. So let's begin this journey through the numbers of significant importance in the realm of numerology and the universe. Number 111. This number is associated with intuition and the internal calling that individuals feel. It speaks of deep introspection and the importance of listening to oneself. According to Pythagoras' ideas on numerology, this is the number of profound symbolism and significance for those who receive it as a message from the universe. When an individual regularly encounters the number 111, they are receiving guidance from the universe, inviting them to listen to themselves and embrace the path indicated by their inner voice. It signifies alignment with one's soul, which, in many cases, can be the key point in their spiritual evolution. In this sense, Dolores, amidst her insights into being and internal potential, encouraged people to establish a connection with their higher self, trusting their guidance and aligning with the energy and wisdom emanating from it. As it is well known, our higher self is nothing but our soul on a level beyond consciousness, with complete access to the knowledge and experiences accumulated through multiple lifetimes. This higher self also has the ability to connect with the universe and the energies it transmits in the form of messages, guidance, and useful knowledge for the journey this soul undertakes. Many times, this higher self is identified as the internal voice or the intuition that many feel in response to different stimuli, situations, or people. It aims to guide one's journey in the physical realm along the spiritual path that corresponds to the individual. The appearance of 111 is undoubtedly a valuable message from the universe. It indicates that without fear of making mistakes, we should remain anchored to our intuition and what it dictates, because success is guaranteed from there. It also often serves as a kind of approval for the determination to follow our own instincts, which are subtle signals from the soul guiding us towards the most beneficial paths for our spiritual growth. The way in which 111 encourages us to look within ourselves and discover the abilities and knowledge residing there provides a glimpse into what lies beyond the limits of consciousness. Just because it doesn't stay present doesn't mean it holds less value. For many, this is an invitation to trust the tools and knowledge embedded within ourselves, as well as to have faith in our capabilities and determinations. This represents a key point in personal growth and the refinement of our being, two aspects that are undoubtedly crucial in the soul's journey as they form the axis around which everything revolves. Number 222. This numerical symbol is more oriented towards the individual and the obstacles they face. According to numerological knowledge, 222 encourages us to overcome the negativity in our lives. It's essential to understand that negativity is a powerful energy capable of sabotaging many aspects of our journey and our being. Numerous barriers can be established, seeking to completely paralyze us and prevent us from achieving our goals and purposes. Pythagoras saw 222 as an incentive to let go of negative thoughts, discouragement, and worries, channeling that energy towards a more positive point to transform important aspects of our life and reality. This is a knowledge that nowadays doesn't seem far-fetched, as various metaphysical studies have demonstrated how the energy emanating from our thoughts and feelings directly and proportionally affects all aspects of our reality. While the initial understanding of this number may have bewildered many, today its profound numerological significance for those who regularly visualize it has been widely accepted. It's as if the universe is inviting that person to believe and set aside sorrows and pessimism. This sequence appears to enhance faith in oneself and the ongoing process, marking a turning point where the individual must work to transform internally. The significance of 222 goes beyond simply setting aside negative thoughts. It urges us to become the primary agents in transforming that negative energy into positive energy. Internal transformation is crucial in the development of all souls because negativity represents an extra burden that hinders progress and growth. This is something the universe often observes and communicates to your consciousness through these numerical messages. It's important to understand that just as words are our means of expression, for the universe, these signals represented by numbers are a way to communicate with souls and their conscious part. The powerful manifestations of energy that arise from the appearance of these signals are so intense that many report feeling a sensation that something is moving around them when they see these numbers. In this particular case, it's as if the person senses that with a small change on their part, the universe will ultimately shift things in their favor, thereby helping their process flow more smoothly. As we become transformers of negative energy into positive energy, tangible changes in our reality will become apparent. The contrast between what you experienced before and what will now manifest for you will be evident. However, for this, a profound internal change is necessary, one to which we are invited from the appearance of the number 222. Beyond the appearance of this number, it's crucial to remember that everything we allow to harbour within us will ultimately impact all other aspects of our lives. Negativity is never beneficial, and its eradication from our being is fundamental. This is precisely what the universe invites us to do from the appearance of 222, number 333. When discussing this numerical sequence, individuals must understand that the universe is calling for balance between body, mind, and spirit. This balance is essential for the elevation to the next level of consciousness and complete development of the self. For Pythagoras, this sequence represented a message from the universe emphasizing the balance between these three aspects that make up the self. These aspects not only have repercussions on the physical state and health of the individual, but also on their overall development. As we already know, the energy of thought eventually emits a powerful force from the depths of each of us, aligning with how health will manifest in the physical realm and the well-being of the spirit. Undoubtedly, one thing goes hand in hand with the other, a concept supported by Dolores canon. She maintained that if a person could not align these three aspects of their being, they would be unable to transcend from one dimension to another. This would be reflected in a deteriorated state of health and a reality absorbed in lower vibrational energies. As canon proposed, we are multidimensional beings, and depending on the dimension we inhabit, optimal health or the decline of physical well-being will manifest. However, this is tied to the fact that to make the leap from one dimension to another, the being must be aligned and free from many burdens generated by unresolved traumas, limiting beliefs, and many other aspects that only hinder growth. If 222 invites us to set aside negativity and transform that energy into a positive extreme, 333 emphasizes the importance of balancing our being to gain access to the unlimited potential within ourselves. It's not just about a dimensional leap and accessing our abilities, but it's also a crucial aspect regarding personal growth, both spiritually and earthly. It's essential to always remember that the spiritual aspect goes hand in hand with everything we face in the physical world we inhabit. The energy we emit through our thoughts, feelings, and actions generates a force powerful enough to manifest in the earthly realm. Even though many people may not be aware of how everything they do, think, or say translates into their reality, this is something that never ceases to happen. Thanks to this, we see how many individuals end up materializing their greatest fears, frustrations, and anxieties. It is extremely important to realize the significance of a proper balance among all aspects that make up who we are, as it is from there that we can truly grow and make this journey we are on much smoother. Number 444. This is a beautiful numerical sequence that speaks of precious protection and support from the universe. It is a way in which we can see how the universe provides protection and support to our person and decisions universally. Often, some people feel as if the universe embraces them and will align everything perfectly for them to overcome difficult moments or obstacles of any kind, and this might indeed be happening. Those who encounter the number 444 are receiving a notification of how the entire universe and everything within it is seeking ways to safeguard them and give an extra push in their process. When a person receives this strong backing from the universe, it necessarily indicates that they have managed to align themselves with the energies of the universe in a perfect balance and harmony of both parts. Pythagoras believed that when this sequence made its presence known, it was because what was happening in the universe was a combination of all the forces within it for the protection of that specific being. This postulate aligns perfectly with the ideas Dolores held about forces and entities that were part of the universe and sought in one way or another to protect a soul or a group of souls specifically. Dolores spoke of guides, guardians, and other beings of light who, from the moment of an individual's birth on Earth, were committed to their protection and guidance. Over the years, we see how many other enlightened minds have also spoken on this matter, and it seems to be an irrefutable fact that there are entities of light accompanying us from the very first moments of our present lives, responsible for our protection not only on a physical level, but also on a spiritual one. More than a call to action, the moments when this sequence appears before us are interpreted as a comforting message of support from universal forces and all beings of light. Whether it's a decision made, an action necessary but challenging, or any other turning point that requires resoluteness, if this decision aligns with positive energies and universal laws, the universe will undoubtedly support you. You can move forward with confidence, knowing that you won't be let down. In the face of any irregularity, things will effortlessly fall into place for you to come out unscathed. In other words, this is the message that this sequence brings. In addition to understanding its content, objectively assessing how your surroundings have unfolded helps you grasp a bit of what the universe is expressing to you through this number and its mysterious and subtle language. Number 555. This sequence invites us to embrace change, serving as a harbinger or warning of it. This should be framed within the context of spiritual growth and the comprehensive evolution of the self. It is important to understand that our soul's journey is marked by different seasons in which we seek to perfect ourselves and foster internal growth, from which everything in our reality falls into perfect order. Some people harbour a deep fear of change because they perceive it as negative, thinking that even the slightest transformation will end up being the demise of their world as they know it. However, this is merely a touch of anxiety about the future combined with unfounded fear. All human beings are inherently changeable. There is not a single person who remains the same as they were years ago. Consciously or unconsciously, our being is in a state of constant evolution. Each passing day brings us new experiences, which, willingly or not, translate into transformations of our being and, consequently, our reality. In this process, negativity and limiting aspects of the ego find no space. To change does not mean losing the essence that defines us. It does not imply abandoning what we love or what motivates us. Instead, things will rearrange themselves according to who you are and the energy you embody. Even in what you consider fixed or static, there is movement oriented towards change and seeking refinement because your soul seeks it and guides you to places where you will acquire the knowledge and tools necessary for your journey. So, from here, we understand that contrary to what has been believed so far, change is truly beneficial. It is an aspect of life and existence that we should embrace with love and hope because through it, we will reap the sweetest fruits. However, when the numerical sequence 555 appears, it signifies not just simple changes, but something quite significant in our lives. It indicates that what is coming represents a substantial shift, or instead of a single change, it may be a small wave of transformations. What this message forewarns is a process that is necessary for us, but at times, it may disorient us. Nevertheless, the 555 invites us to embrace all of this, perceive it as something good, and contribute to making it a smooth and harmonious process. Our ability to adapt to change will showcase the willingness of our soul to release the weight that keeps us tethered to the current dimension and make the cosmic leap to the next dimension. As your energies align with your new forms, your being will become closer to the true purpose for which it arrived on this plane, a purpose that your soul has been seeking across many past lives. Number 666. This number is often popularly regarded as ominous, presaging sadness, despair, and an array of negative things that can induce fear in anyone. However, the truth behind this numerical sequence is that, rather than marking terrible apocalyptic events, the universe invites us to self-reflection and questioning the direction we have been giving to our lives. As mentioned earlier, the universe not only provides approvals, but also offers guidance and makes small calls to action at specific moments. Undoubtedly, this sequence is the best example of that, urging us to be fierce critics of what lies within each of us. It is crucial to remember that everything we allow to reside within us, in one way or another, shapes an aspect of our life and reality. It is our responsibility to objectively evaluate it and stay in harmony with higher vibrations and the spiritual realm. It's important to let go of everything that only hinders our process of self-improvement, even if that means abandoning beliefs, ideas, and even habits that we once considered beneficial. As we progress on this path of knowledge and wisdom, we may discover that they are not aligned with the true purpose of our being. Introspection is a complex subject in many ways, but it is also a necessary aspect for our being. The appearance of this numerical sequence becomes a beautiful gift from the universe, one that aims to give a little nudge to our being through self-evaluation and discernment of what is right. For Pythagoras, this sequence holds significant meaning as it prompts us to review the direction we are steering our lives and actions. We are the ultimate architects of our destiny and the progress of our journey. Although many factors come into play in the journey of our soul, an essential aspect is the direction we choose to take. In our determinations, we find the most influential factors in determining how fast and smooth our leap to the next level of consciousness will be. According to Dolores canon, the critical evaluation of our being, including ideas and beliefs, is a crucial step to release burdens that keep us stuck in the midst of our process. It marks a factor that measures our commitment to the awakening of consciousness. While it may not be easy to look within ourselves and acknowledge the dark parts that exist within us, it is necessary. In effect, we are not just light, we also possess shadows that we must confront. However, it is only possible to work on this aspect of our being through self-evaluation and acceptance of all parts that compose and configure our essence. Number 777. In this instance, the universe invites us once again to look within ourselves, but this time to appreciate the internal strength and resources we possess to face this spiritual journey. It also calls for an appreciation of this spiritual path and the accompanying process. This is a beautiful space for our being to empower itself and recognize the valuable tools it has to fulfill the mission conferred upon its life, because none of us are merely passing through. Dolores Cannon spoke about this life mission, or the true purpose of our soul. She believed that each of us has a purpose or a mission for our being, with specific tasks or lessons to go through and fulfill, as if it were a perfectly designed route that must be traversed. In this route, there is not a single stop that is optional. Each of these points arranged for the soul is necessary if one wants to access a higher level of consciousness and fulfill the purpose that their persona holds, a purpose that can transcend far beyond this life. Dolores Cannon also spoke about how our soul seems to guide us until completing its process, even if it takes several incarnations. Unresolved issues from past lives will follow us until the present, and so on, until we heal that particular issue. The same happens with lessons not learned, because without absorbing the necessary knowledge and closing that matter, the energy from it will persist until you overcome that challenge placed before you. At this point, it is also about everything within you that empowers you to overcome each stretch of this journey. You haven't been sent without any means of defense. On the contrary, your being carries within itself everything necessary for you to fulfill your mission. However, to access this internal arsenal, it is important that we recognize what adorns us, not necessarily in a physical sense, but in a more spiritual aspect. This enhances the goodness within each of us. The visualization of the number 777 is a matter of profound relevance for our soul. It invites us to see the great power within us, because only then do we unlock the unlimited potential of our soul and facilitate what is necessary for it to fulfill the objective that has accompanied it from the beginning of this magical journey. Let's keep this in mind, and upon the appearance of this precious message from the universe, let's give importance and value to ourselves in the midst of this spiritual journey that we are undertaking, designed perfectly for our soul and its capabilities. Number 808. This particular sequence holds a beautiful and special meaning for the souls to whom it is revealed. This number speaks of abundance and harmony, two aspects of life that all souls seek in one way or another during their journey. However, abundance should not be understood solely in material terms. It is also important to comprehend it from other perspectives, such as love, knowledge, peace, and many others. When a person is in abundance, it is evident that their life has aligned with the universe and its flow, granting unlimited access to everything it has to offer. Pythagoras appreciated this numerical sequence as a harbinger of the reward that will come to our lives after the work done, manifesting abundance in the aspect of our lives that has been addressed. It's as if the universe aligns everything to open the tap that will pour blessings into our lives. Undoubtedly, it is a moment awaited by many, and a great surprise for the person receiving the message from the universe. More than luck, this is a point reached after much work and a potentially challenging process. This precious moment involves a powerful energy movement, which does not happen overnight but takes time, subtly manifesting, until it finally establishes itself in our reality. Regarding this, Dolores Cannon has expressed that the concepts of abundance and harmony go hand in hand. It is understood that it is impossible for a person to have abundance in their life if they are not in harmony and balance with their own energies and those coming from the universe. Therefore, it is essential to strive above all to enter into balance with the universe. As our being establishes a balanced relationship with the energies moving in the universe and those inherent in what we seek to manifest in abundance, this precious aspect of our life will become more tangible for us. Undoubtedly, this is a message that everyone desires to receive, but for which few are prepared. Therefore, the visualization of this signal from the universe is not as common as one might wish. However, for those fortunate enough to receive such a beautiful omen, it must be understood that this will not only happen on a monetary or earthly level, but encompasses many aspects of our lives. Whatever way abundance comes to you, you will gradually notice how everything changes and becomes more harmonious. From there, this unparalleled blessing will project itself. Number 999. When we reach this numerical sequence, things become quite special because this number speaks of how something is completed and gives rise to a new beginning. From there, infinite possibilities can emerge for your life, transforming your reality in a different way. But this doesn't mean that the world completely ends for you. According to Pythagoras, the ending spoken of in this numerological message is more like one that happens in a pleasant and harmonious way, promising to pave the way for new and more exciting challenges. It's as if it were a game where we overcome levels and fulfill tasks. The end of each of these stages in our life and the cycles we open up signals the opportunity to face different ones and aspire to better things. That's why, when the number 999 appears, speaking of the culmination of a stage, period or cycle, to later initiate a different one, we must understand that, rather than being afraid, we should accept and joyfully celebrate this moment because we are facing goals and challenges that are much greater, and they inevitably bring greater rewards. It's important to see things from the perspective that Dolores has presented, viewing the journey of the soul as a route designed to perfection for us, where each point represents a challenge or a lesson to learn. When we see the end of that and assimilate the knowledge behind it, we can move forward and get a little closer to fulfilling our true purpose. Often, individuals may feel a bit of fear during transitions towards something bigger, but these should be seen as marvelous moments where we can prove to ourselves how capable we are of achieving everything we set out to do. There won't be a challenge too big for our being, because everything allowed in our journey comes as part of an elaborate plan from the universe and elevated energies, which arrange everything in the right way so that each of us can grow and become the best version of ourselves. As our soul is perfected, we also gain access to better places to dwell, such as the leaps to the next level of consciousness. This can, in many ways, also represent the end of something to give rise to something else. We stop inhabiting the current dimension to access one of elevated vibrations. So, in the face of the appearance of messages like these, we should rejoice and walk confidently, knowing that what is about to come is much better than what we currently know. Therefore, we embrace it with a positive attitude, trusting that it will be the best thing that could happen to us. The number 000. To conclude this journey that has guided us through the waters of numerology and the meaning of the most important numerical sequences, we must talk about the precious significance of 00. This number speaks to us about a new beginning and unity, while 9999 announces that a cycle has come to an end in a harmonious way, which will inevitably lead to the beginning of a new cycle. 00 talks about the start of a cycle, a point from which the possibilities for that soul are infinite. It's like being reborn and having a fresh start from this point. At some point in our lives, we have all dreamed of being able to start from scratch, to begin anew from a wiser moment in our lives and avoid many mistakes. While that may not be entirely true, there are moments when we start building everything from scratch on the horizon. More than a miracle, This moment is an opportunity that comes from the universe to build everything we desire in our lives and to do it completely free from the burdens and energies that the past has left us. However, this doesn't happen through a magical act, but is crucial to work on freeing ourselves from all the sequels of the past. Traumas, unhealed wounds, unresolved issues, and all those things we want to forget. All of it carries a strong energy that often stops our process and prevents us from moving forward to where we truly belong. But after much internal work and a new perspective on life, we can access this door behind which we become a new canvas on which to draw everything we've always desired. But none of this happens on its own. These moments are strongly propelled by the internal work that is necessary on everyone's journey and should be the foundation for everything we want to build. Undoubtedly, 000 represents hope for many souls who have made a great commitment to themselves, culminating in this process of renewal, emerging from their ashes as clean beings prepared to construct their new reality. However, this also occurs through the unity of that soul with the energies of the universe, aligning themselves with a world of possibilities that are infinite and wonderful. Just like in the case of abundance, everything we wish to access will ultimately involve a harmonious relationship with the universe. From this, we see the importance of connecting with ourselves and the positive energies around us, as aligning with the highest vibrational frequencies aids in the process of manifesting our desires. The messages that the universe sends us through numerology are diverse, often representing lifelines to which the most wavering souls cling. Even the most distressed individual can find a glimmer of hope in these numerical sequences that appear in the most unexpected moments. Personally, I would like to know if this has ever happened to you and what frequency has presented itself to you. Please share your experiences in the comments section. If you enjoyed this sharing of knowledge, please don't hesitate to give it a like and subscribe to this channel. That way, we'll be in tune for new moments when we connect to share the most important teachings of the universe and all the knowledge it holds. I'll be back soon with a new edition. Until then, I wish you much success and blessings.